Right, so I am working on a tapestry project, and when you do tapestry it requires colour changes. I find it's easier for me personally to have multiple bobbins of the colours you're using and to swap them out, but you can also continue using your colour all the way across. It gives you two very different effects, so I'm going to show you my preferred method and then I'll show you the other method and you can decide what you want. The way I do it leaves quite clean lines, so obviously you can still see where the changes occur. You can't completely get rid of it, but it is much cleaner. So this is the wrong side of the work and this is the right side of the work. So on the right side of the work you can't see it at all, and on the wrong side, although you can see it from a distance, you can't. So it's a bit messy. There's a lot of bobbins on the go. Sometimes you end up with sort of 8 or 9 bobbins, so it takes a lot of tidiness, but I think it's worth the faff for the finish. So as we come up to this colour change, we are doing, how many rounds? 42. So I'm just coming up to this change now. So this is a stitch 41. I'm doing half double crochet. This is stitch 42. So to change colour and to pick it up, I'm going to yarn over and insert my hook and yarn over as I would normally. Then I'm going to make sure that I bring my yarn to the back of my work. That's really important, that the yarn is at the back of your work. Then to finish the stitch, I'm going to pick up my next colour, yarn over and pull through, and then I'm going to work as normal. What I like to do is, can you see that this little bit here, I keep it quite loose, and what I like to do is I tuck this under that first stitch, just carrying it across a little ways, and that just keeps it that little bit neater. So how many of these, oops, I've just dropped my pattern. How many of these do I need to do on this line? 4. So that's 1, 2, 3 as normal, and then on number 4 we're coming to the change. So we yarn over, insert into our stitch, yarn over, pull through, bring our yarn to the back of the work so that it stays on the back, pick up our new colour, yarn over and pull through. Then I've got this bit of a tail, so I yarn over and I make sure that I scoop that onto my hook as well, go into the previous stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and then I'm going to pull that one across again just for that neater finish, and you keep going all the way across to the end. Now, just to show you how to do these things, what I'm going to do is grab another bobbin. So this is my next bobbin. So to join a colour, you do a slip stitch like this, as you would normally. Start, so you put your yarn over, through your knot, through your stitch, yarn over, pull back through, colour on the right side. Then instead of just looping over, you put your slip stitch on, whoops, slip stitch on and pull through, and then you work your normal stitch. I like to take my tail and weave it in as I go, so I just carry on my colour changes like so, and then carry on all the way to the end. Now the other way, so can you see we've just got those nice colour changes now, and nothing pokes out, there's no obvious joins, and minimal knotting and minimal weaving in. The other way to change your colours is, if I just quickly unfrog all of this, is you do the colour change in exactly the same way. So yarn over, through the stitch, yarn over, but you keep your yarn that you're going to carry across. So I'm just going to put it behind while I pick up the orange, and then I'm going to carry it behind me as I work. So pull through, yarn over, complete my 3 regular orange stitches, 1, 2, 3, and then for this 4th one we're changing back to white, so we're gonna bring our orange and carry through our white and then continue across. Now the difference with this technique is that you end up, can you see that you can see this white colour across, and it shows through on that side a little bit as well, and this is only with like 2 colours working. If I had 5 or 6 colours, which sometimes I do, that becomes very, very bulky and it shows through unless you're working like subtler colours, and I just think it makes the whole project much heavier, much more bulky, and it uses an awful lot more yarn. So I like my way because it uses less yarn and it creates just a much neater finish at the end. Sometimes if I'm only doing 2 or 3 stitches in one colour, I will carry it across just because it's easier and less swapping and less tails to weave in. But for the most part, this is how I do it, just to keep that nice neat finish. So hopefully that's helped. Feel free to watch this video as many times as you need to, and enjoy. Find out which way works for you.